Okay, hello everybody. This is Tessa from the Erie County 4-H office. Thank you so much for joining me today to learn about how to be an evaluator for 4-H Public Presentation Day. Today I'm going to go over what it's like to be an evaluator, some things you need to know, and answer any questions you have. So, what is 4-H Public Presentations? 4-H Public Presentations are an opportunity for 4-H members to teach, entertain, and tell others about a topic they have learned about. Our 4-H members are allowed to choose any topic they please as long as it's 4-H appropriate. So during your day as an evaluator, you could learn all about turkey hunting, how to get animals ready for a show, how to bake chocolate chip cookies, somebody's adventure to Ireland. The possibilities are endless, which is one great thing about being an evaluator. It's never boring because the topics are always changing and full of interesting facts. 4-H Public Presentations is also an event that occurs not only at the county level, but district as well and state. District level is the Western District competition for us here on the western side of the state. And our 4-H members, the top 10%, will compete against 4-H members from Niagara County, Orleans County, Cattaraugus, Allegheny, Chautauqua, and Wyoming. And the state event is normally held at Cornell, usually in the end of May or beginning of June. And that is a really great opportunity for 4-Hers not only to compete and better their skills as public speakers, but meet new 4-Hers from all over the state. So why are these important? Well, being able to speak in front of others is a skill that will help you through your entire life. Many of our 4-H alumni credit their experience in the public speaking program as to why they were able to successfully pass a class in college on public speaking or do projects with ease in school, as well as any public speaking needed for a career that they go into. 4-H public presentations are also a long-standing tradition. It's something that our program has done since, as far as we know, since the beginning, and continues to be something that we are known for. And in Erie County specifically, it is a requirement of our youth members who plan to show or sell an animal at the Erie County Fair. And the reason it's a requirement for our kids in the animal program is many people and the public in general don't understand or have the basic knowledge of many of the animals that go to the fair and that they see. So our youth being able to express what they are doing and how they are handling their animals and the purpose of raising animals, such as, a market lamb. It's great to have our 4-Hers be able to confidently express themselves and not be nervous to share with the public their knowledge of what they're doing, as well as when our 4-H members have to go find buyers for those market animals, being able to talk and communicate is a really, really important and great skill to have. So opportunities, I touched on how this can move from county to state level. So after the county level public presentation day events, there is the Western District event, and that is where our top 10% of the 4-Hers go to compete against those other surrounding counties. And that event is held April 1st. And then from there, the top 10% of the Western District goes to New York State 4-H Public Presentation Day. And another great thing to know and tell the kids is that our youth can enter their posters that they make for Public Presentation Day and sign up to do a live public presentation in the 4-H Youth Development Building at the fair. And both of those entries earn them a premium. So it's a great way to get another use out of their hard work. So your role as an evaluator. In Erie County, we set up our evaluations to occur by a team of evaluators. So within a room, there are a total of 4 evaluators, 2 teams. And those 2 teams are in a constant rotation of judging. So while Team A is judging the presentation, Team B is going to be in the conference finishing up their evaluation conference with the presentation that was prior. So it's a constant rotation of the 2 teams moving throughout the day, so that way there's no waiting around for judges to finish giving a conference after. Your job is to respectfully watch, listen, and take notes and assess the presentation, as well as you are expected to provide feedback and valid scoring based on a set rubric. And I will go over the rubric in a little bit. And this is a document that is made to create an easy process for you to judge. It goes through point by point on what can bring our 4-H'er score from a 1 to a 5. And it's important that your score sheets that you are working on are fully completed, that there's comments, that your signature is on there, and that all the scores are in the place that they're supposed to be. And our evaluators are all sorts of different people. They are friends of 4-H, parents, club leaders, 4-H alumni, or just community members with an interest in our program. So for 2017, we have 5 events county level happening. We have 2 in February and 3 in March. The 2 in February are at the Wesleyan Church of Hamburg in Hamburg. And our March 1st and 3rd event are at the Gow School in South Wales. And March 10th is at Tapestry Charter School in Buffalo. So the presentation options that our youth have are as follows. Our Cloverbud members are younger members, ages 5, 6, and 7, and they have their own type of presentation they do. But then our general 4-H members, ages 8 to 18, have the choice between demonstration, illustrated talk, a speech, a recitation, or dramatic interpretation. So now I'm going to explain a little bit more about each of these in detail. So our Cloverbuds, again, those are our younger members. Their presentation is more of a simple show and tell. Their evaluation is also simple. They have their own scorecard that is much less intense than what our older members will be judged on. And their presentation kind of has not too many rules. It can be less than 5 minutes, and it doesn't necessarily have to include all the parts of a presentation that we ask for, although we want them to try to work towards that. So demonstration, this is one of our popular choices for a presentation. A demonstration is something that is going to be a presentation that is shown or explained how to do or make something. For example, how to juggle, build a kite, make lemon cookies, or build a birdhouse. This type of presentation is going to have equipment, models, visual aids, illustrations. All these things are going to be used to relay the information about what they're teaching or doing and explain the steps of the process. A finished product is also normally shown or sometimes given to our judges. If it's a food demonstration, luckily our judges usually get to sample what the youth member created, which is always a fun thing. And team options are allowed at all levels. So if they were to do one at county and do well, they could take it all the way to state. Food demonstration is a variation of our demonstration option, and that is something that requires some special rules and requirements. And there's a couple of documents actually on the 4-H website that can help our 4-Hers prepare to do their food demo correctly, and that will also give the judges that have those type of presentations the day of. Illustrated talk is probably our most popular choice by youth members to do. It is a presentation that uses visual aids to tell about a topic. Most commonly, a poster is used to relay information. So the effective use of charts, pictures, posters, PowerPoints, examples, etc. is what plays a major role in communicating the presenter's message. And the team option is allowed at county, but not at district or state level. A formal speech, a speech is something that is persuading, motivating, or informing the audience without the use of visuals. Proper use of note cards is acceptable. The presenter chooses and researches a topic and presents it in a format of their choice, so it may be persuasive, motivational, or informative. It is written in the presenter's own words, and the team option is not allowed for this category. A recitation is when a 4-H'er will give a rendition of a pre-written material, for example, an excerpt from Twilight, using voice and body language as communication tools. Props should not be used, but appropriate dress to represent the character or mood is acceptable. Memorization is expected in this choice, and material is not original or written by the presenter, and the team option is not allowed in a recitation. Dramatic interpretation, this is when a presenter or team delivers a reenactment of a piece of scripted material, for example, a scene from a play, and the presenter is judged on costumes, props, and vocal presentation. So this, unlike the recitation, should include props and costumes. Original pieces written by the presenter are accepted in this case, and the team option is allowed at all levels. So a few bits of other important information. PowerPoint presentations are allowed. They are most commonly used for illustrated talks, although sometimes demonstrations will have a PowerPoint. They need to be done by the 4-H'er setting up for them alone without any assistance. Equipment this year will be provided by the 4-H team on site, so the 4-H'ers are not required to bring a laptop or projector or screen or anything like that, but they can if they choose to. If there is a technical issue with a PowerPoint presentation, the best way to handle it is to definitely help the 4-H'ers stay calm, because sometimes they get upset and start to worry and freak out a little. They are allowed to stop and take a moment to try to fix things, and if it goes more than 2 minutes worth of a 4-H'er trying to fix things, we need to ask them to stop and wait and go later in the day so that we can keep presentations moving. We don't want to spend more than 5 minutes on a technical issue. So definitely just reassure them it's okay, and that we're just going to give them a chance to get resituated and figure it out, but we're going to move to the next presentation. Timing on presentations. Presentations are supposed to be a minimum of 5 minutes, but there is a maximum limit of 15. Clover buds are allowed to be less than 5. No live animals are allowed. If there is a service dog that is needed, that is an exception. Youth with special needs. You will be made aware of youth in your room prior to starting judging that day if you have youth with special needs that we have been notified about. And you are just to judge them to the best of their ability and accordingly as you see fit. Extra help. Members are supposed to set up presentation themselves and are allowed to have help if it's prearranged. And Clover buds sometimes do need some help, so we understand that. So what members are taught? Our 4-H members are able to watch and participate in an informational webinar. They can participate in some of our practice days that we have, as well as can look at all of our resources that are always on the 4-H website. And from all that, we teach them kind of some basics. So we always start with determine your presentation type based on your topic or interest. That can really help determine what type of presentation would be fitting to what they want to talk about. Know your subject. It's important for our 4-H'ers to have their facts straight and really know what they're talking about, because references are key to a public presentation. We ask that they have at least one credible reference. Wikipedia is not creditable. A 4-H member with personal experience is a credible reference, or a parent, something like that, a book, whatever it may be. We tell them it's good to have an idea of knowing your audience, which is a variety of people usually. It can be youth members or people that just are volunteering to sit in and listen, or judges themselves. And most likely these people are not going to have any of the basic knowledge of their topic. So it's important to make sure that they cover the basics. We encourage 4-H'ers to be very creative. There's lots of ways to express information through our public presentation day options, and there's really no limit to creativity. We tell our 4-H'ers that the way to organize our public presentation is usually found by using the 3-step process of introduction, body, and conclusion. We always encourage snappy, fun, interesting introductions to capture the audience and the judge's attention. The body is typically their main points, the cause and effect and reasoning, and usually you want them to be in chronological order. And in the conclusion, we express the importance of reiterating the main points so that they're caught again by the audience and judges, and to cite sources. We tell them to go ahead and use props, any equipment or visuals if allowed. And practice is important. Practice anywhere they can, however much they can, and to definitely take a look at those resources on the 4-H website, because they are the answers to any questions they have. And also on the 4-H website is posted the rubric and scorecard for every type of presentation, which is great because it helps them see what is required and needed to get the highest points. Evaluation. Okay, so feedback is key. When you are a judge, it is really, really important to make sure you don't just say what your evaluation is, but you also take the time to write it down on the scorecard, and to also make sure that your comments match the score. Sometimes we hear from 4-Hers that the conversation with the judges after the presentation was great. There was no criticism. No real red flags on things they needed to fix, but yet their scores were low. So just remember that you need to back what you are doing. So the goals of evaluation in our 4-H public presentations, we want to help members gain a greater appreciation of excellence and quality of workmanship and experience. We want to educate members and help them improve skills and techniques. We want to encourage members to discover and develop their talents and potential, and to make members think critically and objectively about their work and themselves. So some helpers. We have helpers on evaluation day that help the judges as well as those of us working the event. So a room host is a youth or adult volunteer who assists judges in the room by introducing the presenter. So they will take that job on for you and introduce the presenter's name and topic. If there is not a room host in your room, it is the evaluator's job to take a moment and introduce the youth for them. A junior evaluator is a youth member who wishes to learn how the evaluation occurs and sits with a team of judges and observes and, kind of pretends to be an evaluator. And their job is to give one positive comment later in the evaluation conference. And then we have a runner who is a youth or adult volunteer. We usually have a couple of them at each event, who takes the completed scores to the tally room to be calculated. So once you are done with your conference, your score sheets will go to the nearest runner so they can go to the tally room. So the materials that you'll be using that day. You will receive a clipboard, stopwatch, and writing utensils when you check in that morning at the evaluator meeting. You are going to receive a judging rubric and a scorecard. The judging rubric is different for each type of presentation, although some presentations share the same scorecard. For example, illustrated talk and demonstration are all on the same score sheet and rubric. And again, the rubric helps you guide your points you were giving with details for each point value, and we'll take a look at that shortly. And a scorecard matches the rubric perfectly, so all those points just translate right over to there, and that is where you write your comments. And then on the top of the scorecard, there is a heading that has some 4-Hers information in it, such as name, title, years in 4-H, number of public presentations done. And that information is important because we judge on the Danish system in public presentations, which means we are judging the 4-Her to standards, not to another 4-Her. So we want to know how that 4-Her meets our standards, which would be our rubric, and you want to take into consideration the 4-H member's age, experience, and length of time in the program and age. So that way we can see, has this 4-Her progressed based on their age and years in the program, or are they new and just started and they're 16 years old. They should probably be able to speak better, but they've only been in 4-H for 1 year, so it's not going to be that well as compared to somebody as a 4-Her who's 16 years old, who's been in the program for 7 years and done 7 presentations. So this is a snapshot, a partial snapshot of one of the rubrics that we use. And again, it goes from 1 to 5, and you can see that the information and details as it goes from 1 to 5 increases, and it outlines exactly what you're looking for. So the left-hand column will be all of the topics and things you're looking for, and then your scores go across from 1 to 5. This is a picture of the scorecard used for that same rubric we just looked at. Again, you can see how the things we're looking at translated right off the rubric, and there is space for your score to go in a box, and then plenty of room for some comments. And then you will see at the bottom, there is your signature, which needs to be on there. And then your time, the time of the presentation can be recorded there as well. So a definition of those scores, 1 to 5. 5 is obviously the highest, which means it is the greatest score you can give. It represents that the 4-H member did outstanding. A 4 is above expectation for level. And again, that is expectation of level for age and experience. A 3 would be about the middle, and that is that it met expectation. 2 means there's some improvement that needs to be done. And 1 is that they really left some things out. It wasn't even present and definitely needs to be added in. So during the presentation, kind of like the lay of the land for the day you are there. So youth will begin by setting up the room as needed when it's their turn. They're allowed to move tables and chairs around, do whatever they need to have their space ready for their presentation. The room host or judge will introduce the youth by saying at least their name and presentation title. They may not say everything on that header, which is okay because they don't need to, just the name and title. The presenter will then begin to start presenting, and they again will be presenting in front of one of the 2 teams of evaluators. Then the evaluation begins as soon as that presenter starts, and the evaluator will start taking notes or marking down scoring. You can write on that rubric all you want prior to scoring. You can circle, you can highlight, whatever you want to help guide you in the scoring process. That rubric goes back to the 4-H'er, so it doesn't hurt anything to write on it. And make sure that you start timing as soon as the 4-H'er begins speaking. Time starts once they start speaking and ends at their conclusion before questions. Questions are not a part of their time. And when the presentation is done, make sure to ask at least 2 questions if the audience doesn't ask any. So if everyone in the room is quiet, please go ahead and ask a couple. And even if the audience does ask questions, feel free to ask questions. We just want the presenter to have to at least answer 2. And once everyone is finished, the presenter will leave the room and wait to meet with the evaluator team for a one-on-one discussion promptly after the presentation is finished. So after that presentation is finished and the 4-H'er is out of the room, you can, or if you would like to leave the room prior to the 4-H'er packing up all their supplies, you will make your way to your conference area that I have explained in the morning for where you need to have your one-on-one conference with your presenters. And it's important that you take a minute and discuss the scores of the presentation with your co-evaluator because our scores have to be within 1 point of each other between 2 team members. So for example, on the introduction, one evaluator scored a 2 and the other scored a 5. That does not work because that is more than 1 point away from each other. We want them to be within 1 point because in reality, they have to be somewhat close. It's okay to think differently on how well the presenter did, but we try to keep it that it's a sound argument to, their scoring and ranking. So this private friendly one-on-one discussion with the team of evaluators, again, takes place after the presentation to review the score in a designated area. And the parents can come in to the evaluation room and listen. That's totally fine and allowed. We just want to make sure evaluators speak directly to the youth and not the adults, so make sure you direct your questions to the youth. Again, the score is based on a rubric, the presenter age, and experience. So all those things need to be taken into consideration while you're evaluating. And ribbons and certificates are awarded after the evaluation meeting based on scores. So a few things to remember. Please remember to write the total presentation time on the score sheet. Written comments are critical because in the moment a 4-H'er may be listening, or even not, because they're so excited they just finished or thankful they just finished that they're kind of just in the moment and not all there. So having that written information later to review is really important and valuable to our members, as well as the parents who maybe weren't there or have questions later. Focus on constructive criticism when guiding improvements. And again, evaluators need to be close in score within 1 point. Parents are allowed to sit in on both the presentation and conference. And there's a couple things that will earn our 4-H'ers an automatic high score, which is a great way to give themselves, a little boost. So if they come in a special outfit or appearance, something that they did to really emphasize references, they receive an automatic high score of 5. So these are the definition of our award ribbons that we hand out. Our Clover Buds, they automatically receive a green participation ribbon because they're not really given a score, a number score. They are given just an acknowledgement of being there and participating. And then our highest ranking would be a blue ribbon, which signifies excellent, a red ribbon, which means good, and a white ribbon, which means fair. All of these ribbons, I think, are valuable. I think anybody willing to get up and do public speaking and earn a certificate and a ribbon should know that they did a great job and be proud of themselves. However, we do request that our 4-H members that are showing animals and are in the livestock program, in order to sell at fair, or show and sell at fair, they need to have at least a red or a blue ribbon from their public presentation. Our livestock educator requires that they have more than a white ribbon. And if they do receive a white ribbon, they have a chance in May to redo their public presentation and earn a higher ribbon. So the day of, this is just a little schedule and kind of what it looks like when you are going to be at your presentation event. For the Wesleyan events, you are going to arrive around 8:15 a.m. If you are doing a GAU event or tapestry location, you're going to arrive around 5:15 p.m. You are going to check in and get situated. We will have a short evaluator meeting once everyone is there, and you will be given your room assignments and evaluation partner. First-timers will be placed with a veteran evaluator. And please make sure you bring a positive attitude and a smile. So our events on the weekend, on those 2 Saturdays, begin at 9 a.m. And on the evenings of the week nights, they begin at 6 p.m. And all the registration and room assignments of the youth are done beforehand. So everybody's in place and has a spot to go. So it's pretty smooth on getting everybody situated and there to present. Light snacks and refreshments will be provided at the events. The 25th event, February 25th at the Wesleyan, is a longer day, so we're taking a lunch break that day. So please bring a lunch if you're an evaluator for the 25th. And hopefully each room will have a room host that introduces the presenter. But again, if there isn't one, then it's the evaluator's job. And you just get to sit back and enjoy. It's a lot of fun to hear what these kids have to say. After the presentation is done, again, just remind them that their presentation as well as signing up to do one can be a fair entry. Sometimes they want to know about their scores and ribbons, so you can let them know that scores are done in the tally room and ribbons and certificates will be given out after the scoring is complete near the registration area. This is a couple links, one to a video of a public presentation demonstration There's a couple different videos floating around YouTube of public presentations if you want to take a look and see a little preview of what it looks like. And then this link below is to our 4-H website where you can find all of the evaluation rubrics and scorecards. This webinar will be posted there, as well as another webinar for 4-H members about public presentations and some more helpful worksheets and tips and tricks. So that is all I have for today. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact me at any time via email or phone. And I hope that you all have had a nice refresher if you're a veteran evaluator from this, or you have learned some great information and have a better understanding of what you are going to be doing the day of. I appreciate you for logging on and listening, and I look forward to seeing you soon. So thank you so much.